So there is something I want to talk about. And I wish I had an affirmation for you guys. Matter of fact, let me see if I can think of one. Um, Today's affirmation will be show up as you are, and the ones who accept you are the ones who are meant to be around you. Once again, show up as you are, your authentic self. And the ones who are meant to be around you, the ones who stick around you are the ones who are meant to be around you. And I say that because, right, I've been seeing clips on TikTok of the interview with B Simone and I guess her so-called best friend. Now, mind you, when I seen a clip before, um, I was very confused. I was like, is the girl talking about a different friend? And she's, just talking about it on B Simone's podcast, or is she talking about B Simone? Saw some more clips, and I said, okay, well, she's talking about B Simone specifically. And if you've seen the full interview, then you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen clips, you know what I'm talking about. And like I said, I haven't seen the full interview. I've only seen clips, and I'm probably never going to watch the full interview. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, no specific reason at all. Just, B Simone content really just isn't my kind of content. Nothing personal against her, honestly. But I really wanted to say, right, for them to get on her podcast and to have that conversation is a very tough conversation, right? And I see people in the comments like, she doesn't like you, that girl hates you, this is why I never liked B Simone. And if I was B Simone, I would have no problem, like, doing things for her. When my friends go through things, I'd be like, girl, check your cash app, etc., 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 etc. And I'm here to tell you, that sounds cute in theory and all, and like comments and everything, but let's be real with ourselves. I feel like, especially if you're a female and you've had friends before and you've fallen out with people before, or had people jealous of you, people, either being mean to you, or let's say you have a group of friends and they might be nicer or treat other friends in the group different than they treat you. It happens. It happens a lot. And not defending B Simone, what I'm saying is that women a lot of times don't have real conversations with each other, because I have experienced or seen women be jealous of each other or even jealous of me, and never admit that. You know what I mean? But it shows through their actions. And it breaks a friendship apart that could have been something. But because you can't sit down and have a real conversation with someone who can actually admit that they're being jealous of you, or they don't like that you said something, or maybe they are treating people differently from how they're treating you. Like, I see people in the comments acting all holier than thou. And I feel like it's unfortunate, because the fact that they were able to sit there and have that conversation, and she was able to sit there and say, you know what, I can check myself, What it sounds like is the way that I was responding was a lot of trauma. Like, for her friend to call her and say, hey, I got this opportunity, and she was able to call back and be honest about it and say, hey, I'm not going to lie, I didn't feel right when you said that. Not saying that that's how I should feel. She probably even felt fucked up for feeling how she felt, but she's being real and saying, hey, like, when you called me and you said that, I didn't feel right, and I don't understand, where is that coming from? What is this about? That's what accepting yourself for 100% who you are is, and being real with yourself and taking accountability for yourself and saying it out loud. Because a lot of times, people in general do feel certain ways towards people, and a lot of it is projection, is trauma, is all these different things. But nobody sits with themselves and really be real with themselves about how they're feeling and why. You know what I mean? Because healing and being able to move forward with your life and allow things to pass through you, other than holding on to things, starts with checking yourself, which means holding yourself accountable and asking yourself, why do I do these things this way? Why have I been in this cycle for so long this way? What do I keep doing that's the same thing over and over and over and over that I'm thinking is going to get me different results, and it's leading me to the same place that I was before? I keep thinking I'm going 10 steps forward and I keep making 1,000 steps back. Like, what is actually going on? People don't really sit with themselves, right? And let alone have someone else in their life that holds them accountable, that says, girl, when you do this, that's wrong. Like, I don't think y'all even understand the reason why. Well, if you know me in real time, in real life, I have a small circle of people in my life, right? When I say small, I mean it's not even a circle, it's probably more like a triangle. And it's because I've had friends for a long time that I even had a particular friend for a very long time that I couldn't have real authentic conversations with. You know what I mean? And not in a sense or way of, just like how I'm acting towards them, more so about like how they're acting towards me. You know what I mean? And because a lot of people are quick to get offended and defend themselves, and which I understand. You feel offense, but even in those moments of you feeling offended, people need to be aware enough to go, okay, I'm feeling offended, I'm being defensive, I'm not hearing the person out. Let me hear the person out first, take in the information, digest it, review myself, and see if, maybe they do have a point. You know what I mean? Maybe I should check my attitude. Maybe I was being jealous that day. Was I jealous? Where's the jealousy stemming from? You know what I mean? Is this from childhood trauma, or is it from something recent that happened that caused me to be this way when I feel triggered? It's really sitting down with other people who can look at you from outside the lens of yourself, because a lot of times you can't see everything that you do right or wrong, and having someone in your life that's able to tell you, hey, when you do this, it hurt me. When you did this, I understand you probably had the greatest intentions, but this is how it came off. And I really want to sit down and have a conversation. And I really want you as a friend, if you're going to be the best of friend, I need you to sit with yourself. I need you to reflect, because if you're hurting me this way, I'm pretty sure there's other people as well that you're hurting. And I don't want you to hurt anyone. I'm pretty sure you don't want to hurt anyone. That's if you have genuine people in your life who wants to see you grow and develop as a human being in every way, shape, or form, right? Everybody's always worried about who's wearing what, who got the latest this, who got the best aesthetic this. Nobody really points out to people and go, that is a flaw that, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you should really work on that. Because as your friend, as your family member, as your partner, I want to see you be the best version of yourself, even if I don't get to reap from those benefits in the future. Because sometimes, the same way someone can be a blessing or a lesson in your life, you're also a blessing or a lesson in someone else's life. And things expire, including relationships, and that's okay. You should be okay with helping someone grow and not having to think about if in the future you're going to be able to experience what that growth would bring other people in their life, if you get what I'm saying. Because that's what it's called, being genuine, right? Just doing it for the hell of it, because I want you to be better. And I think them being able to sit down as friends, instead of just like, ending things on the worst of terms, because even if they stop being friends eventually because it just didn't work for them, they were able to still sit down and have that conversation publicly and openly, to where y'all even have y'all opinions. And I understand you guys' opinions as well, just the negative comments. But I think there's always a different side of things. And I think a lot of people really do hide from the tough conversations and act like, oh, I would have never did that. I would have never did this. I would have never. You really don't know how you act when you triggered. You don't know. I'm pretty sure everybody in them comments, you can't tell me that there's never been a time that you've never been jealous of somebody else, or you treated everybody the best way, shape, or form, or you always been the best friend, you always been the best daughter, you've always been the best sibling, you can't tell me that, because what you're trying to say is that you're perfect, and that does not exist. So, like I always say, and I always will say, extend grace to others, especially when they're sharing their pain, they're sharing their hurt, and they're sharing their fuck ups, because it happens. I love you guys. Be safe. I live in New York City. Enjoy the shitty weather. All the hot, the rain, the hot, the rain, the hot, the rain. Enjoy your summer. Be safe. Thank you for tuning in. If you watched all the way through, thank you even more. This is going to be raw, unfiltered, unedited, because I don't have any edit equipment or anything on me right now. I'm just sitting in a car, and I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. I love you as always. Please like, comment. Oh, if you saw that, I'm sorry. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I see you guys next time.